Hey everyone, the wait is finally over and I finally have a review for you for KP07PE. A little later than usual, but nonetheless it is finally here. Before we get started, I do want to make something clear or inform you if you already didn't know. The tank is not purchasable or earnable. So more often than not, you will not get this tank. You can get it from buying chests, so basically you buy Yule or silver chest, and from those chests you get mystic chests, and from mystic you can get this tank. The probability is pretty low, so I would recommend not spend money to get this tank because most often than not you will not get this tank. You will end up spending thousands. Of course it depends if you already have the tanks in the drop or not. You might get lucky and get it in the first one, but on average most of you will end up spending $400 to $500, and if you are new, maybe even $1,000, and still might not get this tank this year. The tank is Winterfest exclusive, but my best guess is, this is my guess, next Winterfest it will be back and we will be able to buy it for snowballs or in-game currency, and another tank will take its place behind the war chest unless Wargaming listens to the feedback and not put a tank behind a paywall. So let's get started with the review. Let's get started with my setup first. So I'm using loader stabilizer optics, and for crew I'm using 1 liter rapid loading, steady aim, snapshot, 6 sense, armor angling, situational awareness, track mechanic, and run and gun. So for equipment I'm using optics, but you can use of course vents. You can also use power terrain to make the mobility a little better. Most of my all of my crew skills are focused on DPM and gun handling. I did do a comparison earlier of this tank with E5 for particular stats, but we'll go over the key features of this tank again. So the tank, in short, it's a really solid tank. It is not OP like some of the other tanks in the game, but it is a solid tank. It's enjoyable and it's fun. So what does this tank offer? It offers standard APCR 270 premium pen, 270 standard pen, 320 premium pen, and also 110 hash, 410 alpha, and 410 base view range. It is a heavy M. Do not try to be aggressive. You will get pen. However, it's decent enough to play mid support or a little bit more forward if the map allows it. But it doesn't have the armor. What it does have is a shovel up front. It does make it very annoying for newer players. They might end up shooting the hull. Even when you face hug some lower profile tanks, they will not be able to pen you. They can of course pen the lower plate, and we have already seen with AVRE how annoying the shovels could be regardless of what it says. It says 20 mm of shovel armor or spaced armor, and behind it's a 160 of upper hull, but we have seen how that goes. They fire heat, nothing will happen. But unlike AVRE, it doesn't have a broken turret. The turret can get penned. Mantle it is respectable. You can bounce shots from there. However, your turret cheeks are not, so you can get penned over there. Another thing to notice, the roof is 45 mm, so don't try to be a hero against high caliber guns like Ruthless E4, as you will get overmatched and get damaged, especially when you're at a lower ground. So it's good reliable armor as well as gun to play mid-range early on, and that's why I put optics, so I can play more as a medium in the early stages and then use my HP towards the end. Again, when the opportunity presents or when the enemy comes towards you, it's difficult for them, as they'll try to, or the game will auto lock them to the turret or a hull if they use auto aim, and then they have to manually aim, and you can use that time to punish them. The tank has 70 mm of side armor and 110 of upper side armor, so you can somewhat side scrape. Again, no spaced armor on the side, so won't recommend, but it's not like Chieftain, which get auto penned by every 120 gun. DPM is close to 2600 base DPM, less than E5, but again, this tank does not have a hatch. Does have hash that E5 doesn't, so that 110 hash you can easily pen tanks like Waffle, especially after the buff, as well as other tanks or side or back of more tanks than usual. It is again lower DPM than Chieftain. Chieftain also doesn't have, Chieftain Mark 7 doesn't have a hash. Sorry, this doesn't have a hatch. But this tank, as I said, it has better upper hull because of the shovel, as well as has side armor. So overall, as I said, the tank is balanced, not OP, right? There are OP tanks, but flexible enough to play in different positions. So Yeah, I finally got the tank on rental, so we're doing the review. But I will also not be buying this tank. Not buying, sorry. I will not be buying war chests to try to get this tank. I can't do that. Like, the earn rate is not there, even though I have most of the tanks. I will use the free war chests we earn throughout the events and open them towards the end. And I hope for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst, that I will not get this tank at least this year. If we get it, great. But that's not where my hopes are. And I would also suggest or recommend, think long and hard. Of course, if you have money, you have the resources, sure, go for it. But for an average player, for a newer player, you will not get the tank unless you get super lucky, or you might end up spending a lot of money. I don't like this whole concept. I would have preferred if they have another buyout option, even without discount. For example, the tank is available for 22.5k gold base, no discount. I would be happier. But unfortunately, the tank isn't. In addition, I would also prefer if, let's say, currently we have no guarantee for getting a mystic war chest because you get it from other war chests. So let's say we have a guarantee of getting a mystic war chest, then it would have been still something. For example, we have a guarantee of getting an epic drop every 50 chests you open, or I think it's 40. I think it's 50. But if we had a guaranteed drop of getting a mystic war chest from other war chests, I would still consider it. But in reality, you have 0% chance of getting, or no guarantee of getting, a mystic war chest. You might open up thousands of Yule and silver and not get mystic. And I'm not a fan of this concept, and would just wait for it next year, as it'll be old and will be available. That's my guess, maybe for snowballs, right? As it won't be behind paywall 2 in a row, especially when it's old. It is Winterfest exclusive. They have already confirmed, so don't expect it to be available in 6 months or something. It will come back next year, Winterfest. At least I hope they even come back, or yeah, that would be the time that I expect. Nonetheless, so getting back to the replay here now, 2 versus 8, 2 versus 7. As you have seen, I have blocked 2300 damage, Ruthless hitting my hull. Managed to pen him again. A lot of tanks, lights or something. They will kind of end up hitting the shovel. So if I was Tiefton, I would have gotten penned, and if I was E5, they could have hit my hatch. Our teammates die 1v6. I have health. I was playing safely. However, T58 penned me. But saw an opportunity that they have a guy on the cap pushing the light tank. He was one shot, and then I wanted to face the machine. Unfortunately, machine is more mobile than me, and he decided to push me instead, which means he can just flank me and shoot me in the side or rear. He penned me once. Artillery snapped me. Lucky for me, he only had 1 shot. I got lucky again, set him on fire, but looks like he had fire extinguisher. Unfortunately for me, both Waffle, Artillery, and even machine are 1 shot, and the guy who was on the cap has left the cap. Returning to shoot the guy on the cap, but I did notice that machine stopped, and he might be able to, he'll come back and punish me when I'm distracted. I do put a shot in SP2. He also bounced off me, 3940 blocked so far. As I said, don't expose your turret and you will be able to block damage. Especially, if you do get lucky to get the tank from the free war chest. Nonetheless, decent tank. I wish I could get it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen unless I get lucky from the free war chest. Let me know in comments what do you think about the tank that are, you can only get it by luck. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.